So this week we got to travel to a conference in Albuquerque. It was our Baptist Convention in New Mexico conference, and it was the first time Mindy and I had been in Albuquerque, so it was a different, unique experience for us. The conference was fantastic. It was great worship, it was challenging sermons. We got to interact with and meet about 200 different pastors across New Mexico. So for us it was a very, very good week. The city itself, though, was very unfamiliar to us. And if you've heard me say this before multiple times when I preach, is this: I am not good with directions. It's not just that I'm not good, I am the worst with directions. So Mindy and I came up with this plan. I would drive and Mindy would navigate. That way, not one person's doing one of the things. So, two heads are better than one. We thought this is a good plan, we can get this done. So we went to the first session and we got out, and it was nighttime. So it was dark out, we didn't really know. We don't know the city well, so we don't know where we were going. So Mindy plugged it into the GPS, and we were on our way. We followed what that GPS was saying religiously. If it said to turn, I don't care if I was in the middle of the street, I'm going to turn. If it said to get into the right lane, and I'm in the far left lane, people better move, because I'm making my way all the way over there. We followed this thing, about 20 minutes it took us, and pretty soon we were rolling up into our destination. The only problem was it was the wrong destination. And we ended up on the exact opposite side of town where we needed to be. Now, the issue was that our navigator had put in the wrong address into the GPS. Now, I handled this with the utmost dignity and respect, and it was just a poise. I was wonderfully patient. Mindy would disagree, but she's not here today, so we're going to go with my version of this. But here's the problem. We were following directions to the wrong destination. We were following the directions to the wrong destination. And this is the thing in our lives. This is where we find ourselves before Christ. We're going in the wrong direction. We're following the wrong destinations before we know Jesus, and we're in the driver's seat of our lives. We're not qualified to be there. There's certain times I think, I really shouldn't be driving. I mean, really at this point, I've been lost so many times. I've been lost in Clayton. I hope you know that. I hope you know, around the hospital, I've been lost trying to find people's houses, right? And so here's the thing, but spiritually, we're not qualified to be in the driver's seat. Where we're driving is always in the wrong destination. We're always going the wrong way. We're always going to get lost in the worst area of town after dark. That's where we end up. But just like we talked about last week, here's the miraculous, the wonderful, the amazing thing about what we preach is that when we meet Jesus, He sets us on a different destination. The Holy Spirit does something in our hearts that we couldn't do for ourselves. And when He takes over, you guys remember the Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel, right? When He takes over, He puts us and He sets us on the right destination. This is, in my life though, you guys remember the song, Come Thou Fount? We sing it quite a bit, right? These lyrics, I think, sum up, though, when we try to take control of our lives and we're trying to go in the direction we want. How about these lyrics? Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. I feel like this so many times in my life that, Lord, I want to do what's right, but I'm being pulled in a different direction. Who I used to be is fighting for control of who I am now. But when we meet Jesus, everything changes. Apologist Rabbi Zacharias wrote this: Christ did not come to make bad people good. He came to make dead people alive. I love this. This is what the Holy Spirit does. He takes a heart that is dead and it's lifeless, and He breathes into it, and it starts to beat again. At the moment we cry out to the Lord for salvation, the Holy Spirit takes our old heart, full of sin and shame and guilt and condemnation, and He gives us a new one, full of righteousness and peace and love and a desire to please the Lord. But here's the question that I have been asked over and over and over in my ministry as a pastor. Why is it so hard to live for God? You don't know how many times I've been asked this by children, by teenagers, and by adults. Why is it so hard to live for God? People say, I know I'm a Christian. I trust in Jesus for my eternal salvation, but I can't seem to overcome this sin. Or I can't seem to get this anger out of my heart. Or who I used to be still fights for control of who I am now. How come I can't overcome these things? Why am I still drawn back into my old life? Why is it so hard? So why is it so hard then to follow? Why is it so hard to follow what God wants from us? And I want us to see in God's Word this morning. I want to give us some hope. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to call out your sin and your sin and your sin. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not here. What I'm here to do is to provide hope. And the hope comes from God's holy Word. I can say words and I can make them sound good, and sure, that would do something for you, but unless it's coming from this book, it's not going to do anything for you eternally. So go with me to the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 5. Here's what I want us to see. A lot of people treat their faith like, okay, I got saved, and now I'm on my own to try to figure this out on my own. I've heard so many teenagers come and say, I'm trying to figure out this life. I'm trying to walk this path and I don't know what direction to go in. But here's the misunderstanding we have. That when we meet Jesus, He just leaves us and says, okay, good, you're saved, now I'll move on to somebody else. But when you accept Christ as your Savior, that is just the beginning of your life with God. It's just the beginning of your story with our Savior. He doesn't leave you to figure out the directions on your own. He walks with you. And sometimes it's one day at a time, sometimes it's 1 minute at a time. Sometimes I do have to pray, Lord, for this next minute, just help me figure out what to say and what to do. He walks with you, and then in turn, we walk in Him. We walk in His power, we walk in His love, and more often than not, we walk in His forgiveness. So look at Galatians chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 16. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. If you have it, why don't you stand and we're going to honor God's Word this morning together. Galatians 5:16 says this, I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, revelries, and the like. Of which I tell you beforehand, just as I also told you in time past, that those who practice such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law. And those who are Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another. So I want to talk about something very specific. We talked about the Holy Spirit. We're in a series called Holy Spirit. And what often comes to mind when we talk about the Spirit is these physical displays of the Spirit. You hear churches that speak in tongues or that have dramatic healings or different phenomena. There's a church in California that almost every week practices what they call a glory cloud, where a cloud of gold and glitter and stuff will come down from the rafters and will swirl around the auditorium, and that's supposedly a manifestation of the Holy Spirit. I am not here to bash on any church, but I want to tell you what the Holy Spirit does in our day-to-day lives is to point us to Jesus. When we're saved, He indwells our hearts, and the one thing that He does consistently every single day is He points us to that cross. He points us to who Jesus is. So we live our lives sometimes and we think, how on earth can I do this? How can I be the Christian I'm supposed to be? How can I walk in the way that I'm supposed to walk? I've heard people say, I want to read the Bible, but I don't like it. I don't find it interesting. I mean, let's be honest. When you're reading through some of the genealogies and chronicles and Genesis, then there are times when we think, ooh, I just got to make it through this next section. Right? We have all these things that we know that we're supposed to do, and so often we find ourselves unable to do it. And even Paul, the Apostle Paul, who wrote this book of Galatians, he struggled too. Listen to what he says in Romans chapter 7. He says that I know that in me nothing good dwells. For the good that I want to do, I do not do. But the evil I do not want to do, that I practice. I see sin warring against my mind and bringing me into captivity. Oh, what a wretched man that I am. Who will deliver me from this body of death? That's Paul's words. Paul, the guy who wrote more than half of the New Testament, he stopped and he said, I am so miserable that sin has such a hold on me. And why would it be any different for us? We have a hard time sometimes trying to figure out, God, what do you want me to do? And how do I accomplish that? I can't do this on my own. Have you ever said that? Lord, I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. And that's the key right there. We're not alone. What the Holy Spirit does in our day-to-day lives, He provides access to God from us 24/7. Right? We have access at any time. When I say, Lord, I can't do this, guess what the Spirit says? I'm here with you. I can empower you. I can give you the strength to get this done. If you say, Lord, I can't overcome this temptation, He says, I'm right here with you. I can help you do this. We have access to God Himself. And we walk around sometimes like we're the poorest people in the world. Oh, woe is me. I'm so tempted. I'm so sad. My life is so bad. Everything around me is just falling to pieces, right? And when we have access this close, it's a phone call away or a prayer away to the God who made all things and holds all things together within the palm of His hand. Why do we not utilize this power? I think out of all the things that the Spirit does, this is the most important. This is the least utilized. We live sometimes completely disconnected from this power that's available to us all day long, every single day. And you know what He does in us all the time? He points us to Jesus. Because Paul ends that section, he says, "O wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death?" The very next verse says, "I thank God it's Jesus Christ. He's the one who gives me the strength to do this. We're not alone." Paul says this, and we'll go back to Galatians chapter 5. In verse 16, he gives us the key. If you want to live for God, here's the key. I say then, walk in the Spirit. Walk in the Spirit and you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. That word walk in the original Greek means to follow someone. This is what the Holy Spirit says. Follow me. Follow me. The Lord is moving. The Lord's moving in your life. He's moving in our community. He's moving in this church. And the problem is a lot of the times we're standing still saying, how are we going to accomplish things for God? And He's asking us to follow Him. To walk after Him. Follow, He says, walk in the Spirit and you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Because the thing is, our old self and our new self are at odds with each other. Right? They fight against each other. Who we used to be fights against who we are now and who we know we should be. And so often I think I get into the driver's seat of my life and I say, I know what's going to be best for me today. And I drive in the wrong direction. I'm in Albuquerque. In the middle of the night, I don't know where I am. Right? Paul says, walk in the Spirit. If you want to utilize the power of the Spirit, then walk in Him. I'm going to pause really briefly here before we move on to this next section, because I want to talk about something I started to talk about last week, and I wanted to flesh it out a little bit this week. Okay? We talked about this a little bit last week, but I want to emphasize it this morning. When we talk about salvation, a prayer does not save you. A prayer does not save you. I've seen so many people, so many teenagers go to a concert, raise their hand if they want to get saved at the end of the concert, but then nothing changes in their lives. There's no evidence ever that they're saved. They're not being discipled in the church. And I'm afraid there's a lot of people living their lives under the illusion that they're saved when they're not. Because even Jesus Himself said, "Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven." This is a scary verse. I think there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I prayed that prayer when I was a kid. I prayed that. I'm good. That's like a magic words that gives me a bubble and I'm saved forever," right? What is salvation? If we talk about salvation, what is it? Is it a prayer that we pray? It's a heart that is repenting of sin, believing in Jesus, and a mouth that confesses that Jesus is Lord. That is what salvation is. So I want to stop here before we move on, because Paul is about to give us a big list of sins. Paul loves lists. He and I are kindred spirits. I don't know about you in your life. I make a list every day. At least once a day I make a list. I even have lists of my lists to keep track of my lists. But he makes this list of sins, and before we move into it, I don't want you to think, oh man, I've done one of those, so that must mean I'm not saved. Or I was saved, but then I committed one of these sins, so does that mean I lost my salvation? You didn't do anything to earn your salvation. You can't do anything to lose your salvation. The Lord holds you in the palm of His hand. So this list of things is not describing the life of a believer. Right? You may think, one day I was jealous, so does that mean I'm not a Christian anymore? Or one day, hopefully not murder. That was one of the lists. You're like, I murdered someone. Does that mean I'm not a Christian anymore? Right? What this section we're going to read, or that we've read, is talking about is if this is what your life looks like, if this is who you are, if this is what you practice, then there's a good chance that you were never saved in the first place. So let's look at this. Paul gives this list. These are the works of the flesh. And remember, he said flesh battles against spirit. Your old life battles against your new life. And he says this is what a person in their old life looks like. Adultery, yikes, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envy, murders, drunkenness, revelries, and the like. This is what he's saying here. The people that practice these things are not saved. If this is what your life looks like, if you look at the whole scope of your life and say, yep, that's me, check, 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 then there's a good chance the Holy Spirit has not done anything in your heart. I'm not saying that if you're saved and you do one of these, all of a sudden you lose it. You can't lose your salvation. I want us to look at our life, though. This is the test. This is the metric that we decide, okay, am I saved? Is there evidence in my life that I'm growing? Evidence in my life. This is the metric that Jesus himself uses. This is the metric that Paul uses. Is there evidence in my life that something is different? I'm not saying you're going to be perfect overnight. That's not possible. We will never be perfect until when? Yeah, exactly. Until we stand in the presence of Jesus himself in heaven, we will never be perfect. Well, it's a work in progress. My last pastor, he described it like this. God takes a heart that is sinful, and each and every day he carves out a small section and puts in a little bit more of his Spirit. He takes a little bit out and puts a little bit back in. It's not going to change overnight. If you've ever seen someone struggling with addiction and come to the point where they realize they have to change, it doesn't change overnight. It takes a process. It took years to get to where we are, and it's going to take that long to get back out eventually to when we see our Savior in heaven. So these verses I wanted to show you, they describe the life of a non-believer. These are people who do not believe in Jesus. But Paul doesn't leave it there, and I'm glad, because that's kind of a negative place to end up. Right? He follows this up with, okay, now you want to look at what the life of a believer looks like. This is it. This is the life that the Spirit himself empowers you to live. He says it in verse 22. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Right? What would the world look like if all believers around the world exhibited every single one of these traits every single day? How do you think the world would change? Think it'd be a better place? For sure. For sure. Just those first three things, love, joy, and peace. Just watch the news one day a week and you'll see there's a severe lack of those things in our world today. But one thing I want to emphasize here is look what this is called. Verse 22, the fruit, what's the next few words? Of the Spirit. Fruit of the Spirit. Not fruit of the believer. Not fruit of the Christian. Not fruit that I produce if I work hard enough. Not fruit that if I wake up and say I'm going to be more patient and more loving and more joyful today, it's going to happen. Fruit of what? The Spirit. The Spirit produces this fruit in our lives. In fact, the New Living Translation uses those words. The Spirit produces these kinds of fruit in our lives. So what do we provide the Spirit? We provide the Spirit fertile soil. We provide the Spirit a heart heart that is yielded and surrendered and humble before God and says, Spirit, do with me today what you want me to do. Grow in me today what you want grown in me. That we cannot wake up and say, I have a severe lack of love today, so I'm going to work really hard at it. It's not going to, you may on the surface achieve something, but deep inside your heart, what grows here in the life of a believer is the Spirit's work. Right? The Spirit gave you the new heart, so He's going to grow these things in you. To me, this is hope because it lets me off the hook a little bit. Right? That means today I don't have to try harder to be patient. I don't have to try harder to be loving or joyful. The Spirit produces these things in our lives. So how does this happen? How does it grow in our lives? We walk in the Spirit. He ties the whole section together. If you want to live a life that God has called you to live, you walk in the Spirit. Paul even says later, pray without ceasing. Make your whole life a prayer. Make every single day when you wake up, say, Lord, today is your day. Sign your name to this day. I want to accomplish today what you have me to accomplish. I want you to grow in me. And this all ties together into this idea of evidence of your salvation. Right? This fruit that the Holy Spirit grows inside your heart is the evidence of your salvation. If you look at this list and you're like, man, I've got none of these things. Not one. I'm not loving, joyful, peaceful, patient. I am none of these things. Right? I want to use this as a test for us to look and say, Lord, are you working in my heart? And He's not asking for an orchard inside your heart. It could be that you just grow a little bit of kiwi. And that may be enough for you today, right? He's not asking us to change overnight. What He's asking us to do is a little bit each day become more like the one who saved us. And the Holy Spirit does this. As you walk with Him, He grows these fruit in our lives. I want to say this, and I want you to hear this. If you want to write this down, write this down. God will never start a work in you and leave you to finish it on your own. God will never start a work in you and leave you to finish it on your own. He is in it for the long haul. He's in it for the marathon, right? I just watched a video of this guy who runs 100-mile ultra races. And he says, I get really tired about mile 70. I'm like, I'd be tired around mile 1, right? If you run 100-mile races. And he says, you just got to push through. And this is the thing with the Lord. He's in it for the long haul. He's in it with you. He's walking this path with you. And He says, just walk in me. This life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. We walk one day at a time, one step at a time, and we walk toward the one who saved us. God will never leave you to do it on your own, though. I feel like a lot of Christians feel like this. I'm on my own. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to overcome this. I'm scared. I'm afraid. We feel this way, and the Lord says, I am right here. I am right here. In Romans it says, the Lord says, I'm near to you, as near as on your lips. I'm right here with you. The Lord gently and faithfully and patiently takes the hard soil of our hearts and He plows it up in order to plant the good fruits that He desires in us. Listen to this. You will never see a person get saved and then stay where they are spiritually. You will never see a person get saved and stay where they are spiritually. If a person never grows, never produces any fruit, never does anything for the kingdom of God, I'm not the judge, but I serve the one who is, and He said that is a very good indication that they were never saved. What He desires from us is fruit. Over and over and over, God said what He desires from us is fruit. Even Jesus said this, He who receives seed on the good ground is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit. That's God's purpose for us in this world, to bear fruit, so that the people around us can realize that something is different in their heart, and that they will learn to follow the Lord as well. You can't meet Jesus and stay the same. You can't. It doesn't work that way. So as I wrap up, I implore you, church. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to land this plane, right? Walk in the Spirit. Today, ask the Spirit, Lord, where are you leading me? Let me follow you. Let me see what your plans are for me. Let me see what you're doing in my heart. Let me see what you're doing in my family, so that I can follow you and I can walk with you. Give Him a heart that is ready and willing.